everyone, Katie Petit from KatiePetitDesigns.com, and I am here today to show you my newest release with Arden Creative Studio. We have the new Vintage Makers collection. So this collection is full of vintage, neutrals, papers, ephemera, laser cuts, dies, and stamps. And the thought behind this is that this collection will mix so nicely with the Hidden Creek collection. So it just is going to expand the offering and inspire you to do all kinds of goodness. So I'm going to walk you through each item in the collection, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so let's get going. First up, I have two paper packs. One is a paper pad and one is a paper pack. Both are 6x8, and the 6x8 pad is 200 GSM, double-sided sheets, and the other pack is loose sheets that are 6x8 that are varying weights. So I'm going to open each one up and give you a look. All right. So like I said, they're 200 GSM. You can see there's a variety of papers in here. There are 12 different double-sided designs, and you get 2 of each sheet. So we have this first sheet, and on the back side is a collage. So you can see the one side and the back side. And again, here we have a collage sheet and a textured type sheet. And then we have another collage sheet with some vintage script on the back. And then we have 3x4 cards. And there are 2 sheets of the cards, so you can use them twice. And the back side of this is a grunged up text. And then we have just a classic script. Really, really love this one. Lots of different textures collaged in there. And then the background of this one, or the back side of this one, is a lightly textured stripe, like a pinstripe. And then we have a lovely botanical. Love my botanicals with some paint in the background. You'll see all kinds of bits of layers in here of silhouettes and newsprint and handwriting. And on the back side of this one are just different words that I grunged up and texted together. So you could try to say something with it, or you could just use the type as texture. And then we have these sheets. Ooh, right? What's so wonderful about these sheets is these are not fussy cut sheets. These are kiss cut sheets. And I'm absolutely loving this. So all you do is pop out your sentiment. So you don't have to cut it or anything. It's all done for you. And then the back side is blank. So if you don't like the words or sentiments, you can handwrite, stamp, use rub-ons, and create your own sentiment, perfect for your own project. So very easily customized. And not only do we have sentiment sheets like that, but we also have tag sheets. See, blank side and a side with sentiments. And you can just pop these out. Look at that. And you can pop out the hole, punch hole, and you are ready to go. So this 6x8 pad isn't just a paper pad. It's like you really get an ephemera pack and a paper pad all for one price. So really good value here. And you can see I've got different sizes of tags. And then I have page pebbles with different sentiments. And then some textured tags. So really, really versatile collection here. And then we've got a classic polka dot with lots of texture and script. And on the back side of that is a bold ledger grid. And then I've got a kind of like a damask paper pattern here. And on the back side, it's a really lovely textured paper. So you've got typography and handwriting and grunge and all worked in with a vintage damask pattern in that as well. And then with this sheet, got a beautiful botanical, kind of a lighter, airier paper, but still a really strong vintage vibe. And on the back of that one is a lighter polka dot with some water stains and all kind of grunged up goodness. And then this paper might be one of my favorites. So collage with a silhouette of leaves, and you can see butterflies and scripts. And then on the back side of this is a dark music pattern. So that'll be a really nice mix into your projects. And that is the Vintage Makers Essential Paper Pad. So let's move over here. This is our Foundations paper pack. So this collection is largely geared towards journaling, but also very relevant for card making and scrapbooking as well. But this paper pad is really with the journaler in mind because it's all different papers. And I envision you scoring and binding these papers into your own book. Maybe you're gonna work some collage with the lighter weight papers into your journals. So you've got a kind of a watercolor textured vellum, another textured vellum here. And then this paper is again a vellum, but it's got a really nice watercolor print with some really strong textures of canvas and a darker watercolor vellum. And on the back side, oops, should I be flipping these over? Yes, I should. So we have different watercolors on the back as well. So that one's like a light gray, and this one's a different texture. And this one again is the lightweight, text weight, very textured, very rich, really scrumptious. Okay, this one's heavier. We've got a texture and a lighter texture on the back side. This is a printed linen. And then the back side is a little bit darker of a texture. Then we have just some plain vellums. These will be really good for stamping with your archival inks and then doing some different color techniques. Then these papers, on one side is the fabric and the other side is the craft. But these are like a canvas. Can you hear that? So you can, I'm scratching the texture so because I know you can't feel it. But this is a textured fine print, fine woven canvas. And that could add some really lovely texture. And then we have some like butcher block paper. So again, very thin, same paper, you know, both sides. It's not printed, it's actually plain butcher block paper. Okay, so that is our Foundations paper pack for the Vintage Makers. Something new in this release is some Vellum Ephemera. I wanted something different, and vellum seemed like just the right thing to give a go. I'm really, really pleased with how these turned out. So you can see on the back, oops, you can see on the back here, all the different elements you get in this pack. So there are 39 different motifs, and I'm just gonna share a few of them as I pull it out. So we've got a library card, and I know you can't feel it, but these are really sturdy. It's a heavyweight vellum. I want to say it's like 250 GSM. So really nice weight, and they really go on very nicely too. They apply easily with a glue stick, or you could pop them up with a glue dot. Really, really nice elements. Kind of a frosted, in a way, when I've applied them to projects, they have kind of a washi tape look to them, but they're much more sturdier and easier to apply. You don't get any crinkling or anything like that. So we've got a number of vintage fern type images. Of course, I have to have butterflies. Love my butterflies. Some pebbles, and even a photo frame. Really give your pages, I think the mix of textures and depth really give your project a different vibe. And I've also included a few page titles in this pack as well. So be sure you check out the Vellum Ephemera and add it to your stash as well. Little banner tag and a ticket, all the things, a clock face, little bits of ephemera. So definitely a fun addition to the Vintage Makers collection. So Vellum Ephemera pack, check it out. All right, and of course we have to have another pack of double-sided laser cuts. Just like with Hidden Creek, the new Vintage Makers laser cuts are double-sided, and you're going to adore them. The sheets are 6 by 8, and we have a mix of elements. So the first sheet is all leaves and butterflies and botanicals in a very neutral vibe. So it'll go with everything. It'll mix in nicely with Hidden Creek. And the back side is just the reverse. So when you need your leaf to flip the other way, all you have to do is flip it over. Simple as that. And then our second sheet has a variety of embellishments and sentiments, different ephemera bits. And again, these are double-sided, so they can go the other way. Like even with the color wheel, you want the yellow on the other side? Well, there it is. And the back side of all the sentiment pieces are blank. So you could stamp on them and you could add your own sentiments as well. Really, really versatile collection here. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do and see the wide range of use that you could get from these laser cuts and papers and the elements in the Vintage Makers collection. But I'm not done yet. The Vintage Makers series has 3 great stamp packs. I am really getting into stamping in my mixed media, in my card making, in my art journals, and I think you're gonna find these packs really useful. First up, we have pencil line arrows. Really fun, quick little point out, use them on cards, in your scrapbooking and journals. These will add a fun little accent. I think you're gonna use these again and again. The second one is our Maker Sentiment Clusters. So I've got a variety of stamps in here between sentiment clusters. This one says, "You are enough, reach for the stars, believe in yourself." And this one is, "We belong together," is the main theme of that one. Create the life of your dreams. And these are the best times. And the thought with these sentiment clusters is you could use them to express a sentiment, but you could also just use them to add texture to your projects. I love using type as texture, and these are a great option for that. And not only are the sentiment clusters a great option for that, but these here, I call these key strike clusters. And there's a mix of splatters and typewriter strokes in there. And you can see like the ampersand. And down here, there's even a mixed message of, or not mixed, a hidden message of hello. And as if that isn't enough, I added in some taped sentiments. So you have got 8 different taped sentiments in this pack, which are great for card making as well. And then of course, some botanical silhouettes. These are really fun. I really enjoy using watercolor crayons on them, or different kinds of oxides and inks. Could even use them in clay. I'll be showing some stuff with that later. Later, as in my Instagram reels, not in this video. All right, and then the last set of stamps for this collection is the Maker's Marks. And in here, I've got some grunged up lines, got some circle textures, a variety of different kinds of circle textures, and some film strips. These film strips are super fun and are roughly the same height as these new dies, but the window opening is a little bit more narrow, but would be a fun mix to mix these together. Maybe you stamp inside of this area and then have your die cut image above that. So again, these are the Maker's Mark stamps. And then, so since we're on it, let's go right into our dies. We have a couple of dies in this release. Turn that around. We have our squiggles or streamers. I think these are really fun, like party streamers, pop out of the backs of images, clusters, to create some great energy on your projects. And then we have the film strip essentials. So you've got a slide frame, a single film strip, and a triple film strip. So again, super versatile. And let's just keep going, right? We have, I'm so excited, a new journal. This is a 4x6 journal with stitching and has 12 blank pages. So this is really heavyweight, 300 GSM. When I've been working with it, I can get it wet, I can ink it all up, and it holds really nicely. And 4x6 is a really nice size. It's not overly intimidating. And you can see the really nice saddle stitching. So it's a very sturdy journal. All right. And finally, we have our stencils for the vintage makers. So first up are the 4x6 ledger series. So we've got a ledger 1, we've got a guest check, and the last thing is a letterbox collage. And these all work really nicely together. And then to add some texture in, I've got a distressed diamond and a fancy flourish. So I think those give a good variety of textures and stencils that you can add into your projects and mix with the ephemera and the laser cuts and the stamps, really come up with some really, really nice pieces. Last but not least is the new PET tapes I have in the Vintage Makers collection with Arden Creative Studio. So we have a kiss cut little icons, and we also have the film reel. All right. So I'm going to show you, I have a couple of these open already. And on my Instagram, you'll see a number of projects made with these items, so be sure to check that out. But this is matte finish, and it peels really easily. And then this pack, you can see I've already taken some of the items off of it, so we're gonna scroll way down here. So, number of different items. They're all kiss cut, so they all peel right off. And you can use Copic markers, alcohol inks, and color on these. It's like a vinyl sticker. So they're really sturdy. So I think you're gonna really love these. All right, thank you for watching, friends. Thank you for sticking with me and seeing the entire Vintage Makers release. I hope you love it and look for it in your retailers starting April 22nd and stock up. Alrighty, until next time, bye everyone.